Let us go with exercise 3.2. In this exercise, we have to find for the square root with various method. Question number 1 is to find the square root of each of the following numbers by repeated subtraction. So we have to find the square root. So the square root by using this method, repeated subtraction. Now in this case, how do we subtract? By what number? Okay, so for that you have to know by what number that we have to subtract or minus in order to get the square root of any number. So in this case, we applied by subtracting the consecutive of odd numbers. So in this case, we have to subtract starting from number 1, odd number. The least number is 1. So starting from the least number of odd from 1, then keep on continue. After 1 then come 3, after 3 then come 5. So okay, let us start. So 1 to 1 minus with 1, it is equal to 1 to 0. Now this 1 to 0 must minus with another odd number, this 3. So we get 117. This 117 again you minus with 5, and then you get 112. Then you keep on doing like this till you get 0. So once we get 0, after we minus we get 0, then you count how many steps you minus. So in this case, we minus with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 steps. So the square root of 1 to 1, it is equal to 11. So before this, you must write this in words. Subtraction has been done 11 steps to reach 0. So that means with that steps, we must count the steps only. Till we obtain 0. So the same thing with question number B, with question number C. Like the square root here of 169 is 13. This 13, it is the steps. Okay, it is the steps that you had subtract. So the square root of 169 we take with the number of steps, so that is 13. Just like this for the repeated subtraction method. Now next, we'll come with question number 2. It is in this case again we have to find for the square root, but that is with the prime factorization method. So to find for the prime factorization method, it is just like we find for the LCM. So before we come with the square root of 1024, we have to find for the prime factors, which we get from the prime factorization method. In your work, you can show all this calculation. Now for the prime factors of 1024, we get it as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Let me count how many do we have. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. We have 10 2. So next step is we write we trying to pair all these two. We trying to pair all this number 2 into 2, and then this 1 2 with another 2, 1 2 with another 2, 1 2 with another 2, 1 2 with another 2. So these two, in place of we write two numbers of 2, we put with 2 to the power 2. And the same thing with the next pair, 2 to the power 2, next pair to the power 2, next pair to the power 2, next pair to the power 2. Now after we trying to we pair all the numbers, and then we reduce with the square, we get only 5 to 1 2 3 4 5. We get only 5 2, but along with the square. Now by pairing the prime factors, we get the square root of 1024 equal to, now we just square all this number, the above number, 2 square, 2 into 2 square into 2 square into 2 square into 2 square. Now for this, all the square, it will get eliminates once there is a square root. See, no more power 2, no more power 2. We get only 5, 2 without power. Why it happened like this? Because we have the square root. Now for example, if you have x squared, this square and this square, simply we can cancel them, or you can multiply. If you want to multiply, um, there is no problem whether you can cancel the square root and this square, or if you know the multiplication, you can go with multiplication. So same thing, I can tell you here that all the square will get cancelled because of this square root. So in the next step, no more square root, so it will remain only this number 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Then for this number, the 5 2, you have to multiply it. So after you multiply, you get 32. So the square root of 1024 is 32. Now the next question is question number 3. Find the least number by which each of the given members should be multiplied so as to get a perfect square. Also find the square root of the resulting number. So in this case, we have to find, like we did in question number 2, we have to find first the prime factors of any number. So here we have to find for the prime factors of 1 2 6 0. So after we find the prime factors of this, we get 2 2 into 3 into 3 into 5 into 7. Then next is we're trying to pair all these number, 2 with this 2, 3 with this 3, and in this 5 it is alone, so we cannot pair them. And then 7 also, it is alone, so we cannot pair them. Then in the next step, we can write for this pair numbers, we can reduce it to holding square. So the prime factors 5 and 7, this one 5 and 7 is without a pair. So we try to pair this 5 and 7 in order to get a perfect square. Okay, why do we pair? Why we need to pair for 5 and 7 in order to get a perfect square? Now next is we try to multiply. We multiply this 5 and this 7. So here we have only 1 5. Remember, we have only 1 5 for the prime factors of 1 2 16. But here it is 2 5, and also for 7 we have 2 7, because we already multiply by 5 and 7. So we must get 1 more 5 and 1 more 7. So now we can pair for all the numbers. This 2, it is already paired, and 2 and 3, it is already paired, and then 5. Now we have, since you multiply 5 and 7, so we can pair this 5 also. Now after you multiply, after you pair all the numbers, then we have to write the least number by which, because the question here is to find the least number. The one that we multiply is to be multiplied to make it a perfect square is 35. This 35 is, if you multiply this 5 and 7 directly, we can get 35. So you have to write with 35 instead. You write 5 into 5, but remember you get 35 from this 5 and 7. So the resulting number, you multiply this 5 and 7, 35 with given number 1 to 60, you will get it 44100. So the square root of this, like we did in question number 2, you take with this one. You take with the above number, 2 square, 3 square, 5 square, and into 7 square. Then again you can cancel the square and the square root, the square and the square root. Then you will get the remaining number 2 3 5 into 7. Then you multiply, then you get 220. So the square root of the resulting number, this is the resulting number, and the square root of the resulting number is 210. Now next one is question number 4. Question number 4, it is almost similar. It is almost similar with question number 3. Here it wants us to divide, not by multiply. It is just multiply and divide the difference between question number 3 and 4. So in this case, again, you find the prime factors of 1575, question number A. Then you get 3 into 5, 3 square. After you pair, then you get 3 square into 5 square into 7. Then the factor 7 is without a pair. So the number that is without a pair, instead we multiply so that we can pair them, we divide. That is the difference in question number 3 and question number 4. So for this unpaired, okay, for this number which is unpaired, we have to divide. Since the question here is, we have to divide. Then after we divide, no more 7. See, please be very careful with question number 3 and question number 4. For question number 4, it is to divide. So the number that is with unpaired, we have to divide by that number. So in that case, after we divide, no more 7. So please don't write 7 again. So the next step is to find the resulting number. Again, we have to find the resulting number in order to find the square root of the resulting number. So the resulting number here is, you multiply 3 into 3 into 5 into 5, you'll get 2 to 5. So this 2 to 5, we have to find the square root, which acts as the resulting number. And then you take with the pair of this one, this 3 and 3, you put it as 3 square, and this 5, put it as 5 square. So you get 3 square into 5 square. So the same thing, the remaining part, after you cancel the square on the square, you'll get 15. Now exercise 3.3. This is very important. Exercise 3.3 is very important because it is this is the main method, the very important method how to find for the square root, and it is very simple if you know how to multiply and divide, minus in this case. So from this word itself, we have to apply, to find the square root, we have to apply long division method. So we have to divide, but it is different from what you divide from the normal division. We apply this long division method only for finding the square root. So for finding the square root, the steps you can follow, you can check from your page. If you want to go to know more about the steps, you can check from your page 41. Okay, here it will explain in details for finding the square root of a number by division method or by long division method. You please check from page 41. So in this case, we find the square root by using long division method. So directly we can write therefore root over 2116 equal to 46. This one you have to show. If you don't show this your calculation, you'll get minus mark. You won't get full marks even though your answer is correct. So the square root of 2116, the first step is to pair the number starting from the right hand side. Starting from the right hand side or starting from the last digits to pair, not from the front, it is from the last digit. So you pair 6 and 1 and then 1 and 2. There is no number which is unpaired here. It is all the numbers are paired. So when we pair, we have to multiply with the same digits or with the same number because this is a square. And if you remember, to find the square, we need to multiply the same number twice. So the same thing here, since you have to find the square root, it will come from that idea that when we divide here, we must divide with the same number to multiply with the same number. So in this case, we start here, we look with the first pair. Here is 21. When you divide, you must look with the pair. Okay, with the pair digits. So since here it is all digits are paired, so you have to divide this 21 first. Now when you multiply, you must multiply that is equal to 21 or less, just less than 21. So the timetable that we can get here is 4. 4 into 4 we get 16. So 16 it is just less than 21. And if you go with 3, it is much smaller than 21. If you go with 5, it is bigger. So it is better to go with 4. So 4 into 4 we get 16. So again you have to minus 21 minus 16, you'll get 5. Now this 8, from where this 8 comes? This 8 comes because we add this 4 and this 4. 4 and 4. 4 plus 4 we get 8, so you put that 8 here. Now next is you have to multiply. I put a dash here. Yeah, that means you have to multiply for this one. You have to put a number here, then you multiply in order to get 5 on 6. 5 on 6. Okay, now make sure that you know from where this 8 comes. It is by plus this 4 and 4, we get 8. Now next is I put here, since I already did this one, so I know, so I put with 6, put 6 here and put 6 here. So this 6, this one 6 here must multiply both of this number, not only this 6, both of this number. So we will get 5 on 6. 5 on 6. Alright, so after you divide 5 on 6, then you minus, so you get 0. So once you get the remainder as 0, so you'll stop till there. Then your answer, it will be this 46, not this 86. It is from this one, 46. So this 46 will be the square root of this given number, that is 2116. Alright, let me come with question number 2, because the rest it is the same. I'll come with question number 2a. 2a. Sorry, it is 2b. Question number 2b. The square